Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Third Rail Thursdays, March 2nd, 2023. A chicken Big Mac, Mark, that sounds delicious. I would 100% be in. The odd time, I will get a junior chicken with mac sauce, and it's tasty. So definitely, definitely would be on board with that. How is everybody doing? I ate my bacon for the day. We're feeling good. We are here to run some trains, show off some new things. Once again, Wigwag, James, Mike, Mark, Tim, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Roger, how's it going? I decided to start a little bit early today because I'm ready to go, and well, hopefully, I mean, we'll see. Once everything falls apart, I'll probably take that back. But Sparky, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Anthony, how's it going? Brad, thanks for joining. Robin, how you doing? It's true, 100%. I just went to the doctor's last Wednesday, and he wasn't concerned about anything, even though you know I do eat an awful lot of bacon for a guy. I'm getting old though. I at the ripe old age of 31, I was ripping around on the floor with my son and messed up my knee something fierce, and it's only gotten worse in the last month. So I finally decided to go to the doctor. I know it's against the bro code, right? Like us men barely see the doctor. To be fair, I also messed up my I messed up my tailbone, and I left that for like a year and a half before I went to the doctor. So it evens out. James is doing good. Yeah, my son's doing good. He's 13 months in a couple of days, just over a year. So he's doing great. Doing great. Dwight, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Tim, you can say that again, man. Like I'm not that old, and it sure puts things in perspective when yeah, you blow out your knee and it hurts to put weight on, or even like it hurts to touch if I've like tight my pants tight around it. To put weight on is just killer. So I'm on some pretty decent meds. He's the fifth, so 3 more days. But I mean February, so this is 13 months coming up in March here. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look see. So I'm using I got kind of a newer iPad, so I've got chat up on that. So hopefully that works out good. I usually just watch my phone, but I feel like the iPad may be better. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna try to keep up with chat. A lot of the times it gets away from me, but I'm not a professional like some of the other Third Rail Thursdays. It's true, Sparky. Those ties are missing rails. I'm working on. That's gonna be the old ripped up abandoned spur where the rail barge used to live. So it just goes off to the end of the layout. But there's some plans to kind of make that look good and whatnot. But just wanted to kind of play around with putting down some ties, and I've got to kind of fill in some gaps and whatnot. But I think it's coming along. It's coming along. Done is better than perfect in my eyes, and I'm just glad that I'm making progress. So all right, move the camera a little bit. So the two biggest, I guess, differences that I've done. If I can turn autofocus back on my camera here, are some signals. So I just put these in this past weekend, and Mark, it's true, man. I mean, I think we've talked about this as a group. I know in GVO, and I think I've said this a hundred times. I love to plan and plan and plan and plan, and critique those plans and change those plans and plan and plan and plan, and that's all great until you realize that you never get anything done because you're constantly just thinking about doing it. You're never doing it. So sometimes I just I just get her done. You know what I mean? And sometimes it doesn't come out great. Sometimes it does. But done is better than perfect, and progress is progress. So you know, what do you do? I mean, for me too, of course. Um, Unlike so many of you, because you guys like my shortcoming is scenery. Like so many of you, scenery just it's like you're just like, oh, it's no big deal, and it comes out like awesome, like perfect. I struggle with it immensely. So for me, it's huge. Just get it done. Chris, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Glad to be here on this third rail Thursday. Anyways, the signals. So, how am I going to? It's kind of rural. I can let's cheese it a little bit, just so I can show them off. So we've got a signal here, and we've got a signal in the background. Can I twist this without? Ooh, I didn't glue it. So yeah, yeah, it's kind of fuzzy. Can I? Let's zoom in a little bit so we have a little more detail. I'm not touching this closer one because every time I touch it, it comes off the base, and I don't want to mess it up. But you can see the colors pretty well, enough that I'm going to be able to explain kind of how I have things set up. And uh, I know it's not going to be prototypical or anything like that, but it's a little system that I'm happy with, and I just kind of wanted an excuse to put more signals because I got that one on the tunnel, and I already want to put another one after these. But yeah, so pretty much, um, we've got the two signals. So this is my upper reversing loop, of course, and we'll start at the top. So the top signal is a manually controlled simulated block signal for the yard. So very often in operations, I'll have trains working on the yard. I do have a yard lead that accommodates 4 cars and a locomotive, but and you know what? I guess I can let's raise this up a smidge and we can kind of follow along. So down in the yard, right over there, uh, I've got the yard lead, which is behind the shed where the steam locomotive is, and that accommodates 4 cars and a locomotive, and that's pretty good. But there are some situations where the consists need to come onto the main, whether for sorting and uh, just overall transfer, that kind of stuff. So there are some times where you know I'm working in the yard and Mark would be up in the upper industry set, and so I wanted to simulate kind of a block signal. So if we come back here and let's do that. So if we come back here, I've got 3 double pull double throw switches. So what happens is the first one controls the top signal, and it acts very much like my tunnel signal. I guess the bottom one is more like my tunnel signal. This one goes from red to yellow, but then it actually goes red to the second double pull double throw switch. So from yellow I can go to green, and then I can go back to yellow or red, kind of thing. So it's either red to green or red to yellow using the two double pull double throw switches. So um that's kind of just the simulated block signal that I can manually control to stop traffic from going down to the yard. They're placed here so that the turnouts are still accessible. The diamond's still accessible. You're not stopping on the grade crossing, which is just up ahead of this train here. Um, and it kind of does Sparky. So yeah. The two upper searchlights are synced up, so they are controlled both using the two switches. So if I zoom out a little bit, yeah. So here are the three switches. So this one all the way down is red, all the way up is green, and then the second one is your green to yellow, and then this would still go to red. So, and then I mean, I do have an off feature, but obviously I'll likely never really use that. It's just because I ran out of on switches, but I did have an on-off on. So that's the top switch. The bottom switch works a little bit more like my tunnel signal, where red is controlled via, in this case, the reversing turnout. And James, these are Atlas switches. Actually, I've got the box right here. So these are the HO Signal Searchlight Double Head US&S Cabinet UP style. Item number 7000087. So that's them. They're actually super nice. I'm really impressed. Really nice quality. So the lower searchlight, they work different from each other. Basically, they are to indicate turnout position. Um, yeah, I got them from OVR. I think they were about $40 each. I don't know the exact price. I want to say like $42 or something like that. But roughly $40. There's a couple of different kinds, right? You've got like the different styles of double searchlight, single searchlight, all that stuff. I'm not super knowledgeable. So, Angela, thanks for stopping by. How you doing tonight? James. Okay, so um, the way this works is I've got my reversing turnout, and like I said, the bottom searchlight basically acts as a turnout indicator. So by default, the reversing turnout always points straight, which is why you've got a green light at the back. If I force that to switch, it's going to move over, and I'm actually going to get a yellow on the bottom here. So you can see at the back, I've got red, and here I've got red, yellow. And I've got that third double pull, double throw switch, which then turns it from yellow to green. Now, when it switches back like this, they're reversed so that the back is now yellow. This has become red again in the foreground. The background is now yellow, and then reversing that double pull, double throw switch goes to green. So every time it flips, um, they're reversed. So manual control of yellow to green. And this is just to simulate I really like the look of the double searchlight, and I wanted to implement it because in an operating session, I want to rely less on uh, the infrared sensors that I've got set up, which will obviously throw, if I just run my hand here, it will throw it. But I want to rely less on that and more on the override switch from an operating perspective, because that will help control the signals. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I know Mark's probably watching, being like, "Oh God, more responsibility when I come over." Like, I when I showed them how I was going to set it up, and once I got it set up, I had to reassure him and Chris that I would remake the duotang that I have for them, because I've got a couple of the duotang with the clipboards and stuff that I use for the operating sessions. So I want to revamp it because it's before I had any buildings. It's all just plywood. there's no names of buildings. A lot of features are out, so I want to add a little bit more detail. I'd like to maybe finish this building a little bit more. Get a roof on it, get the docks installed, and then take pictures of the whole layout and remake the map and everything that I've done. Yeah, Mark, I think I was thinking about that actually just earlier, like an hour ago when I was doing the dishes before I came down here. I want to say you were here in the summer because I came over. It was just in autumn. I want to say it was like September or something like that, or maybe late August that I came over to your place. I could probably look up the videos, but no, you're thinking of Tang Spark, the Duo Tang. Think back, I don't know, 100 years when you were in school. No, I'm just I'm just joking. Uh, the good old Duo Tangs. It's just like the paper cover booklet. Hold on, let's paper color booklet. So I've got the map with some rules. I know I've shown this off in one of my videos, but then I also have some pictures of referencing the industries and what they're called, what the capacity is. But you can see there's not really any buildings. And then you've got throttle commands for the locomotives because I use all TCS WoW sound, so um, that all syncs up. I've got how to use a double throw, or a double slip switch. Sorry, because the guys were confused. Because for people who don't use them often, you don't really understand how they work. So I made that up. Just stuff like that. I had a lot of fun with it. I really like that aspect of things. I'm not really a creative guy in a way, but I am. So like rules. Headlights are always required. Blah 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 blah. Uh, and then I've got like the puzzle instructions, right? Because I've designed all of these. Like this is the upper industry set, so I've designed it to be kind of a puzzle where you've got to pull one or two cars out at a time, and it makes it easier for the guys. And like I said, it was a lot of fun doing it. I'm kind of nerdy that way, but yeah, it was a good time. So yeah, I want to update all that. Another thing so that those are the signals. That's how they work. Obviously, for me, just like cruise around the layout, I'm probably not gonna reference them too much, but they're going to be good for videos and pictures and operating sessions. So, which I'm really really excited about. So that's the plan. Okay, so actually two more things. Next thing I'm really excited about, let me bring the camera in, is this building I've got here. So my brother-in-law, his name's Nathan. He does a lot of 3D printing and he's really really talented at it. Like I think he's just really skilled. Not only at the printing but of like painting and everything. So he gave me a couple of things that he could print for me, and I picked this out, and he 3D printed it, painted it up, and I think he did a phenomenal job. It looks fantastic, all blacked out, so I can add lights in later. Just a simple building, but it's funny because he did this for me, and it came out amazing, and and I've got it put up against my little scratch built building that I like struggled with for like a week, and I'm like, damn, damn, I should have just, I'm gonna have to get him to do more. So, but no, I think it came, I think it came out really, really well, and I think it'll probably live about there because my plan is the road's gonna come down and kind of sweep straight and perpendicular to the edge of the layout, and then we'll have a little gravel kind of area there going into it. Same with my building. I want to add a little gravel thing to the shed there and the walkway, and obviously I'm not there yet, but that's kind of the rough plan. So I think it'll be really good. No, Mark, you needed to wear the safety, the helmet, because you're so tall. You're gonna smoke your head on my low ceiling in my basement. The vents are really low. So yeah, that's I think that turned out really great. I think it's gonna be really cool there, and I know he offered to print anything else I may want or need, and I do want to take that up on him at a later date. But right now I'm just slowly making my way. So the last, I guess, big change that I've done little cleanups here and there and little changes, but nothing I can really think of and worth mentioning. But I did some more weathering, and I know I came out with a short about it, or maybe like it wasn't actually a short, but it was just a short video. What's Dwight call it? Shorty. It's a shorty. Um, let's just lower this down a little bit here, and we'll do a little cruise by. So, the four gondolas that I have behind or included in this consist, I weathered up. I haven't put a clear coat on them or anything. They're just powders. Uh, Same stuff I used on the other box cars and whatnot. I've done so far. I think they came out really well though. I really like them. So let's just get this thing slowly cruising. So we've got the Soo line. These first two are Atlas. I think 50 foot. They might be 52s. Can't remember. And then these, I think these are both Atherin. Mainline sold them to me. But yeah, I did all the weathering and I rusted up the trucks and everything like that. I want to do the caboose. I was gonna do the caboose, and then Chris did his caboose, and it came out so damn sweet. And I was like, I can't compare to that. So I'll let that one fizzle out for a while, and then I'll do mine, and I'll feel better about it and not as terrible. But I'll get there. All right. So one of them sounds like they have a squeaky wheel, though. So I'm gonna have to hunt that one down because you never know. But yeah, I don't know what else I've really done that I can point out. Mostly just cleaned up some of the wiring underneath. Um, I I cleaned up the wiring, and then I kind of uncleaned the wiring because when I was working on the signals, like I said, I really messed up my knee, and my tailbone is all messed up as well. So doing work under the layout right now for me is pretty tough, and it was not a good time. I really struggled, but I really wanted to get it done. I had the idea. I ordered everything after debating it like on and off for a couple of days, and yeah, Mark. Yeah, we're wrapping up for the night, so thanks for stopping by. But um, yeah. So I want to continue. And I know I think we all kind of say this. We want to continue putting work and stuff into the layout, but um, obviously, I think so. I think they do. At least a couple of years ago, Mark, because I've been through about four trash cans since we moved into this house. The raccoons, man, they eat well here, and I finally got a bin that they haven't been able to get into. But I mean, they they just chew through it. I have security cameras, and I have videos of them tipping it over and biting the handle and dragging it into my backyard from my deck. And Oh, it's ridiculous. And I think raccoons are super adorable. So I mean, you can't be mad. You can't be mad. But when I looked into getting some, you definitely still can't get the metal ones. So I mean, but the construction cone, Dwight, might just make him taller. You know what I mean? Like I would say the lowest point in my basement is 5'11" because I'm 6 foot, and if I don't crouch, like bend my neck, I will hit my head on it. So, uh, so Mark comes in and he's basically got to get down on his hands and knees just to make it down here because it's so. Well, he's a tall guy, right, Mark? Like how you're what 8 feet, right, Mark? 8 foot sounds about right. Close enough, right? But it's really. Oh, I should put the lights on. Right, I've got those and those. The lighting's coming along. I'm pretty sure I loosened some wires or one of my resistors are touching. Because if I turn off the lights, you can see the spotlights flicker. So I've got that dual dimness. Oh, wrong one. So there's the actual night lights for the buildings because I don't want them to be too bright. I got my pictures on. I haven't done that in a long time. I've got the light up pictures. So I've got that guy, which is a CN something with some stars, which is nice. And I've got a steam locomotive of Russian or European descent, looks like, over there with some snow as well. But yeah, the night ops is coming along pretty well. I think that and the signals look so cool in the dark. I want to get this area all done up and this area and then we should be good. I think I just had a decouple and yeah, I did. So we're going to stop and we're going to reverse back and we're going to figure out what just happened because I made some goofy mistakes way back when. And when I first was building this layout, yeah, it does look like it came off, huh? I get up there. When I first was building this layout, I bought these Bowser ES441,000s and the DRS 441,000, and they came with Protomax couplers, which I love. I really love the Protomax coupler, but until I realized what the true problem was, I clipped the whiskers off because they were hitting on the inclines. I've since resolved that and replaced the Protomax couplers with KD couplers, but they don't perform as well. And I think too with those like the Atlas, that one might just be loose. I think it actually is because they don't screw the coupler boxes don't screw in. So, Brian, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Don't worry about being late. It's all good. But yeah, I want to light up this other area here, but I want to get the road and the other parking lot in first, and kind of just get the scene a little bit more built. I got to wire up the lights going up this hill to the bridge. Ooh, I'm stepping on every cable known to man right now. Yeah, I've got the two street lights here and there, the third one there where the steamer is that I want to wire up. And then I just have to figure out some lighting for here. I think I'm just going to get maybe I'll just stick a street lamp or something or add another one. Oh my God, Mark, you're just stirring the pot. I knew I knew you were gonna bring it up. I knew you were gonna bring it up. I'll talk about it, but I'm not making any promises. I don't know. So long story short, hold on, I'm tying my slippers because apparently they come untied because reasons, I guess. I don't know. All right. Okay. Mm, M&M rails stirring the pot. I knew I was right when I said Smarties are better. Um, so I've got this. Oh, it's pretty dark because I don't have my room light on, but I've got this fireplace hiding back there, and the brand I have is actually banned in Canada, so it worked fine. We bought the house, it worked. We used it all the time, and then I got the gas. They were doing work outside, so they shut off the gas, and they came back in, and a guy came in, and he needed to verify everything was fine. He looked, he saw it, and he looked up the model, and he's like, "Oh, these are banned in Canada," and I was like, "Oh yeah." And I kind of knew about that because my parents had one, but I was like, "Oh, really?" Like, "Oh, okay." So he's like, "I'm gonna red tag it and I'm gonna disconnect it." So he did, and then I turned it back on, and I used it for a while, and things were fine. And then um, there was a one of the porcelain logs cracked, and I stopped using it. And I was like, "Okay, maybe this is legit. Like, maybe we should just not, So, see, Chris jumps right on board with the stir of the pot too with the Helix. Anyways, long story short, we stopped using it, and then a second guy came in and red tagged it all over again, and actually disconnected it, and I left it disconnected, and we haven't used it. So the plan is to take it out, um, and I want to do that, but oh, Dwight, that's not nice. First of all, Mark's layout is already so much further than mine, and to be fair, the quality of his layout is substantially higher than mine. I mean, I was, like I said, I was over at his layout in the late summer, early fall, I want to say, it and I'm not just tooting your horn, especially because I know you're stirring the pot about this expansion, Mark, but man, it's like really high quality. If I just think he does a great job. So, I mean, and that takes time and money. So, um, I'm trying to build him up. I'm trying to build him up. Yeah. But anyways, long story short, I want to take it out. And I was gonna take it out this winter, and then I'm kind of like, well, winter's like the worst time to do it, so I'll do it maybe in the spring when I can have my trailer and the dump and all that stuff. That plywood's there just so my cats won't jump up. Kind of keeps them at bay. Anyway, so I had joked about. Well, I guess I did more than just joke. I talked seriously about the thought of expanding because if I take that out, I've got another 3 4 feet. I forget what it is exactly that I could expand, and I considered instead of having this curve here, basically continue the track straight and then having the curve against the wall. Um, and that's definitely, an option. I'm just gonna raise this up a little bit. Um, ooh, okay, hold on. Well, while we're in the middle of talking about that, I want to see if this uncouples again. The pressure's on. Let's see what happens. I think it's that Atlas coupler box. I might have to super glue it shut or tape it shut because they don't have any screws, so it gets loose, and then the coupler sags. Okay, or it's not going to do it this time. I mean, that's fine. Okay, fine. I'm just a liar. It's no big deal. Chat's going to think I'm a liar. Anyway, um, yeah. So I thought about. Oh, hey, John, welcome. I I thought about expanding, but there's a couple of points against expanding. I mean, I know the general rule of thumb here is going to be all more space is better and you can do more stuff. And that's absolutely true. But first and foremost, I actually am completely content with the space I have. What did I say? It's oh, let me calculator this real quick because overall it's an 8 by 8, but it's not actually an 8 by 8. But I've kind of, because I've used the double, so it's a 3 by 3. There's four of them. There's a 2 by 3. Hold on, 2 by 3, and there's three of those, and then there's a 2 by 2. That gives me 58 square feet of layout. Um, you know, and so hold on, compare that to a 4 by 8. 4 by 8's only 32, right? So I've got a pretty decent size, even though it's configured really differently. Um, and I'm really happy with it. I have no want for more space. Um, Now don't get me wrong. If I had the opportunity to, like, start over in a bigger space or something, I would likely do that. But the thought of adding to this, um, I don't know. I really don't have, and call me a bullshitter if you want, but I just have no want for more space. I designed it around the space, and I did play around with the idea, like I said, of bringing the tracks out more and maybe expanding this whole area and ripping it up and making it different. And I mean, I could totally make some funky, cool switching in there, but again, I just so that's reason number one. I just don't really feel that need to expand. And then reason number two is I hate working with wood. The thought of building another, because these are all module based, right? I made them all modular. So the thought of building another module and then tacking it on, to me, I hated doing the bench work. I hate working with wood. Uh, couldn't stand it. I tried to con Chris into coming, but Brian, size matters, but also how you use it. You know what I mean? I mean, just saying. And I think some of this too is when I built this, when I did the research to switch from N to HO, because when I was gonna make this an N scale layout, I mean this was plenty of space. When I looked into making this HO, a lot of the forum posts I read that people asked about doing things like 15-inch curves, the consensus was like, don't bother, it's not worth it. And it's just like, this worked out just fine. This worked out really well. And you know, it goes to show you don't need, a 4 by 8. You can do three, but I mean technically you could do a 3 by 8, I guess. But James, you like working with wood, man? I guess you're coming up and building it if I ever want to, then, right? Or if I ever start a new layout, I guess you're coming up to build it for me. Thanks for volunteering, James. First of all, Mark, you like that, so don't even say that like that's a bad feature. That's that's a plus. But I mean, I think two people can operate it extremely comfortably. Three people, like when you and Chris were here, I kind of um I kind of went around the sides and did what I needed to do. Um, I think the big issue was I tried to like plan it around operating so that you guys would never really have to be right beside each other. But due to Chris's inability to read, well, the first time there were no instructions, it just, took forever. The second time when I provided the instructions, he didn't read the instructions and was skipping steps and therefore in the same boat. Chris, I don't know if you remember, like we went, I met you at like Home Depot, you got me all the supplies, we got it all pre-cut. You came over, you cut everything, right? And I was like, "Yeah, you know what I mean? This is great. This is great. I'm not great with wood. I'm a measure once, cut once, realize it's not the right size and slap it together anyway." So I was like, "Great, Chris is going to come help me." We get like halfway through the first module and Chris is like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'm going to head out. See you, dude." And I'm like, "What?" But I built the whole thing that night anyway, and obviously turned out okay. But I hate working with wood. Bench work, oh, I can't stand it. I can't stand, and some of that is I just don't have. I I've focused when it comes to like tools and stuff. I focused automotive tools. I've got impact and I've got wrenches and you know, I've got pressure gauges and coolant gauges and all that stuff, all for automotive because I got into the car scene too. So woodworking, part of that is just you need the tools, you need to know how to use them properly, and I'm just like, what? Like Mark, well, I mean, and Chris's is a great example where it's just like, yeah, he's got a 3-story Helix included layout in his basement, and it's amazing. And he's like, oh no, no big deal. I just like, yeah, I just put it together in like a weekend. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I could never build that. This and I think because I built it modular, I kind of get away with it not being super level because I can kind of stick stuff under the legs on that side and wiggle something on this side, and it works out pretty well. But on my last layout it was so uneven all the time. It was like impossible to try to do proper switching because you just like uncouple and the whole train would just roll away. But yeah, so that's another reason why like the thought of doing it really is just like and then um it would be like ripping up this area, and I really like this area. um I think it's come together really well. And okay, if Chris let me, I would 100% do that. I would Chris, here's the deal, man. If you want something like what I made for mine, and of course, like I want to redo mine, but you've used it, you've seen it. I would love to sit down and I could totally hash it out. We could sit down and figure out details and all that stuff because um I love doing that. I think that's really cool. And I mean, Chris's layout has just so much potential. And I'd love to do that. So if you ever really want that, Chris, we could definitely sit down. You guys better take video. I don't know. Like, you better take video because Chris, your layouts really come together. It looks so sick. No, 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 no. Those are two very different things. Two very different things. But I appreciate it. But honestly, like, it's kind of like the whole adding. So another project I thought about, just to fill chat, and I think I mentioned this in a past video or maybe my past live streams. I also thought about adding tortoises to all of my switches and having everything controlled by tortoise switch machines. And before everybody's like, "Oh, Walthers and blah blah blah." I mean, that's fine. I think I just like tortoises, so I'm gonna stick with tortoises. Um, but I was thinking about it. But man, I'm first of all doing these signals. So past Dave is an idiot. So let me give you some advice. If you're going to wire hidden sections like this part underneath here, uh, and you're gonna put like I've got the tortoise that controls the upper reversing loop, right? Like this guy here, that's a tortoise underneath. First of all, there I did not use a remote mounting uh kit. So there's like 2 millimeter clearance at the end of the contacts to the plywood underneath. So it is a tight fit. But then past Dave really dropped the ball when he didn't pre-wire everything. Last layout, I pre-wired everything. You're in there anyway, solder, there's 8 contacts. You only need 2 to operate it. Solder the extra 6, put it in a terminal strip and call it a day. Guess what I did not do this time around? And guess how much I regretted that? Because again, I need my freaking tailbones all messed up. I'm under the layout. You're sweating bullets. I had to get a ratchet just to get the screws out because there's no room to get friggin' screwdrivers down there. Oh, what a nightmare. I tell you. Uh, but, you know, that means in order to do, because initially there was like 2 steps to my tortoise plan. I was thinking about at least tortoising these 2 switches here, uh, only because for me, I know to reach, boom, boom. But the infrared sensor for the reversing loops right here. And I noticed with Chris and Mark, they reach over it like this and it triggers the reversing loop. And which is, not a big deal, but if you've got like a train running around the main like me, it kind of gets messy. Oh, thanks, Dwight. Yeah, it's funny. I actually went back and watched some of it to wire up these signals. Which is so weird to be like, how do I do this again? And then being like, oh yeah, like Googling, wiring up a tortoise and my own video coming up and being like, right, right. I made a video on that. And then watching myself. And to be honest, I think I think I've grown a lot as a content creator in the sense where I don't do those long drawn out videos anymore. If I were to remake that today, it would be so much faster and to the point. So even I was watching it and I was like, Dave, shut up. Like, get to the point. Tell me what I need to know. So Brian, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Was it 7 years ago, Dwight? Oh man. Yeah, that's I was just a young pup. I was still friggin' wet behind the ears, and it's funny. It's funny, I if I could remake, and I've thought about taking those videos down, but um, it's all of my videos are just back then. Even my layout updates were just way too long. Talk too much, and maybe it's just the fact that I came out with this new format where I do the voiceover and the nice music and the cheesy nice music, and now I don't want to go back, but I don't know. But I wanted to do those 2 would be tortoises, and then the other 2, or I'd have 2 here at least, and then maybe a third, because this is kind of again out of sight. People don't really know what to do, and then nobody really knows how to work this double switch here, double slip, and then there's 2 turnouts back there as well, which do the runaround for the yard. So I thought about that, and then I'm like, well, if I'm gonna do that, should I just do all of them? But I don't think like I decided against it ultimately. Um, I think it would be nice, but I did think about it from an installation point of view. It would be the biggest pain. Personally, I would get nothing out of it because to me, okay, so again, I'm 6 feet tall. Um, I can reach and I can flip that turnout from there, but I can also just walk over here and easily flip it right here. You know what I mean? I'm not stretching, it's just right there. So, and I know that. And I know that there's a switch behind the engine shed, and I know the double slips there, and I know how to work it, and I know to reach over the infrared sensor and make sure I don't trigger it and stuff like that. So personally, I'm not going to benefit from it at all. And the amount of time I have people over, I mean, Mark came over in the summer. That's the last person I've had over, and you know, show your face, Roger. Yeah, yeah. I gotta. You can. You can. donate for that. I don't know how much. Maybe a pack of bacon, maybe two. Oh, it was August. Okay, so I must have come over in like October then. I don't know. I don't remember. It all blurs together. It's been a busy year, but uh, but no. Long story short, it just wouldn't benefit me personally, and you know, I can be here to help the guys out to run the layout and direct them on where to go and what to do. So sold. Oh no, did I say 2 packs? I meant 10. Maybe I'll make a video. Maybe soon enough. I mean, uh with the I know there's still train shows going on. I do want to go, and I'd love to run trains at Chris's sometimes, or Mark's again, or have them over here. We're being obscenely cautious with COVID still, just because of my son. Um, so we're doing the whole just take it easy, and we just test before. Like I had Mark test before he came over, and I tested before I went over, and everybody tests, and that way we know, and it's just safer that way. You get that peace of mind. So I think maybe we'll do something like that, and because I'd love to have you guys over again. Maybe wait until the spring when I get the Mustang out, and then Chris can get spooked when I tap on the gas. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Chris, I can't remember. Did you buy a track cleaning car of your own? Because if not, I mean, there's my excuse right there, Mark. And I need you to come over and help me operate it. So we need to go over together. I think he actually bought one though. So speaking of which, I need to do mine. This is probably the longest I've gone without doing my track. Oh, probably since you came over, Mark. I want to say maybe not. I think I want to say for I did a big running session like my birthday weekend in November, and I think I cleaned the track before then. But that's it. I mean, everything still runs fine. Everything's got the capacitors. So yeah, okay, you did buy one then. Yeah, 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 yeah. You got the same one. Yeah, yeah, and it works fantastic. The oh no 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 I yeah, I got the trains from my uncle, my late uncle. My cousin gave me some of his trains, and that's the last time I did it, which was back then anyway, back in November. But yeah, so long story short, I decided against the tortoises, because obviously price is a lot as well. Because I think I would need, well, I mean, I'd need 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 in total. 21 in total. Yeah. So, I mean, they're what, 20 bucks, $22 a piece. That's a lot. Even if I get them used or something, it's still a chunk of change. And then it kind of, another thing too is you've got to plan your diagrams. Like I'd have to make little switching diagrams, which would be fun actually. I probably enjoy that, so I shouldn't say that's a downside, but wiring everything up. It's true. I know. I'm taunting you guys, just real close. Real close. I mean, I could print off a picture of Mark real fast and post that over my face. Wear it like a mask. Oh yeah, Mark, Chris is, yeah, I totally smoked my head on that. When I brought my CMX car over to his place at one time. Yeah. he'd gone up to like grab something for his kid, and I like full on stood up into it, and I just like sat down on the floor and was like, oh, like when you're hurt and but you just you just sit there for you just need a minute. You just some choice words might have been said. Yeah, yeah, good times. All right, wear a mark mask. I guess I'll have that ready. That's creepy. But then again, I mean, I see. I've got the beard, the lazy beard going on, and his is so polished. But I wonder if I like got glasses like his, and I got a haircut, and I trimmed my beard, maybe dyed my hair because I've got dark hair. His hair's a little lighter. I'd have to wear lifts. I'd have to wear like a foot lift on each foot, maybe 6 inches. I don't know, at least. And I don't know. I mean, I'd have to. Well, I'd suck in my gut. I think I could maybe pass for. Now, now that would be a good one, Roger. We both wear masks of each other. That's true. Creepy, but true. But yeah, so no tortoises in the foreseen future. Projects that I do want to do, other than redoing the duotangs, obviously continuing on slowly with the scenery. Um, I would love to get some grass and get some ballast down. I have it. It's up there looking at me. It's oh, it's pretty dark. I guess you can't see. It's up there, and I've got some trees. Um, yeah, yeah. I also do want to. I do want to do a giveaway at some point soon. I don't make enough content to grab a ton of subscribers, but once I hit, I think 2,000 subscribers, like I've got these matching Illinois Central Walther's Mainline boxcars that I do want to give away, and then I've got Detroit Mackinac and Southern Pacific. So I do want to eventually do a giveaway. I think I've got. I don't know. Oh no, I stole the trucks off this. Yeah, because Mainline gave me some stuff. I need to buy trucks, but I could give that away as well. Um, Gave me something, and the trucks were like the wheels were all mismatched and and stuff, and I tried to like. Well, there was that, and then wow, what did I get? I had something else. Maybe it was this. Oh, it was the small gondola, the Monin gondola here in the yard. This guy here, the flanges on the wheels were like super fat, and I tried to sand them down evenly, which not only looked absolutely terrible, but did not sand evenly, and it didn't even fix the issue. But the flanges were just so long, so I think I stole the trucks off that for that, or I don't know. Friggin' OVR doesn't have a bunch of the stuff I usually order. Like they don't have KD 158s, they don't have the trucks. Um, I don't know what's going on over there. I'm gonna have to find somewhere else. Actually, James, I think you do Paris Junction Hobbies, and I've ordered from there before as well. So maybe I'll check those guys out. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I have a bunch of little wooden items that I got. I have signs. I want to continue with the signs. I put some of the whistle signs up. I need to put two more. I'm gonna put whistle signs for the road crossing here, as well as the diamond, which will kind of act as one big area. And I want to put speed limit signs, in the yard and stuff like that, and in the industry, going into the industries. I think I've got like dumpsters and stuff like that that I have to make up and paint. I've got the wheel stops for all my stubs. I need to make those up. Stuff like that, but overall nothing huge, I think. A Zoo York sweater, huh? I think I may wrap up the show though. We're almost at 9 o'clock. I did start a little early. Um, do I have a time? Oh, I just hit an hour and 1 minute, so I have been over an hour. But I know that some of us need our beauty sleep, and I don't want to just sit here and bore everybody if I don't have anything really good to talk about. So I think I may kind of end it here, guys. I really enjoyed doing this. I five Thursdays in a month. I'm bound to show up. I'm like a cat, a stray cat when you're trying to eat barbecue outside. When I'm not around, I'm actually around just hiding, waiting for you to leave the plate unattended. And then you feed me once, and I just never leave you alone. So that's kind of what I'm like now. I'm always lurking in the background. I don't have a ton of time. I'm real behind on all my videos. Just because every single night we clean the entire kitchen, the living room. We make sure we wipe everything down. We clean the bathrooms. Um, Try to get anything we need to do. If I've got to, do chores like the driveway or the lawn or anything, um, I typically do those, and it pushes things back. So I just don't have a ton of time, but I do like saying hey, what up, doing the live stream, and I'd love to jump in for a GVO after dark at some point, and you know encourage some camaraderie, because it's always a blast. But yeah, I hope to see everybody again, and hopefully I'll have some more progress, and I'll come up with a nice layout update soon. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Thanks for joining this live stream on this Third Rail Thursday night. I hope everybody has a great night. Tomorrow, Friday, awesome. One of the best days of the week. Best day of the work week, of course. Unless you work Saturday, that sucks. But uh, I appreciate everybody stopping by. Thanks so much for everybody's support. And until next time, enjoy your bacon.